What's up? It's Dad Dirty Spoon from the IWC, and this is the wrestling recap for January 29th, 2013. First off, we had a very good Royal Rumble, and it's an excellent start to the road to WrestleMania. On top of that, it was followed up by an actual watchable episode of Raw. However, while WWE's doing some great stuff, I just finished watching last week's episode of TNA Impact. I've really started paying a lot more attention, as in more than zero attention to TNA, because I'm really tired of the 8s and 8s, but apparently TNA is coming to Texas for their next pay-per-view lockdown, and as of right now, I have every intention of going, so as soon as I get things worked out, I'll be getting my tickets and I'll have a definitive yes or no. But since I figured I was going to go to lockdown, it was going to be fairly close to where I live, I decided that I would make the effort to continue to watch TNA. 2 weeks ago, we had a wardrobe malfunction at a wrestling wedding, which turned into a cluster. So I'm like, okay, this is entertaining me. Taz had joined the 8s and 8s, which meant the 8s and 8s was still a main event storyline, which kind of pissed me off. On top of that, they had only had really one more reveal. It ended up being Mike Knox. So we now know that it's Devon, Mike Knox, Doc, or Festus from WWE, and Taz. All four former WWE talents, none of them main eventers, are in this group. And this is supposedly a main event group that has full control of TNA Impact Studios or what have you. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with 8s and 8s, but what I did like about TNA was that Jeff Hardy being the champion obviously works for them. Their pay-per-view buys have been much better than they were before Jeff Hardy was champion. And on top of that, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are doing excellent work. Austin Aries and Robert Roode also doing great work. Apparently it's just Hardy versus all the heels, because outside of Bully Ray, which I'm still thinking that he might swerve and turn heel, that's everything that's good in that company. Everything else is still a mess. The booking doesn't make as much sense. The X division is being ignored again. They've got the only legitimate female wrestling in a national wrestling promotion, and they still can't get it right. They got some of the best female wrestlers in the business today, and they're still being booked just like catty women. And it's like, so here's hoping TNA gets their act together. Now, on to the big league stuff. WWE, they had a SmackDown that was great, a pay-per-view Royal Rumble that was great, and a Raw that, if you fast forward past the parts with John Cena, much better. The Royal Rumble, the official start to the road to WrestleMania. I've already gone over that with my buddy Boona713. I'm going to put a link below into the video that we shot for our MidCard for Life, and that pretty much sums up what happened. Going forward, here's still my issue, is that there's still no clear definitive path for CM Punk to have a meaningful main event match at WrestleMania. And after his nearly 14-month title reign, I think that he should not be dropped down to the mid-card so quickly. Unfortunately, it's looking very much like if CM Punk does not wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania, he's not going to get that triple threat match for the WWE Championship like I would have wanted. So he's going to be 4th, 5th down the card. That's what it's looking like. Brock Lesnar came back on Monday Night Raw in F5. The chairman of the board, Vince McMahon, WWE is reporting that Vince McMahon has a hip injury and that Triple H will be taking over again. So that basically writing the script for Brock Lesnar versus Triple H Part 2. We're going to have Rock versus Cena Part 2. If The Undertaker wrestles, whomever he wrestles is going to be the third main event, regardless. And then you've got the World Heavyweight Championship match, which again, since they just turned Alberto Del Rio and his face turn is actually going much better than the Miz's, then I think they have to pull the plug on that quick title change that I think that they were really hoping for with Dolph Ziggler. So that's match 4. If CM Punk is not in that Undertaker match, he's at the 5th best spot at the earliest. and that's not even Ryback versus The Shield in a big 6-man match. I mean, I do not want CM Punk to be lost in this WrestleMania. I want him to have a legitimate spot, which means that unless Taker doesn't come back and CM Punk faces a white hot Ryback, which is the only babyface main eventer that I can think of, and even then, the way CM Punk has been booked, it's as if he can't even beat Ryback without the Shield. So that's my biggest concern going forward in WWE. I really hope that the creative team can come up with something that would give Punk a legitimate match at WrestleMania, one that means something and one that's not mired in the mid-card. I mean, you got 4 matches, 5 plus Punks. You have to have some kind of gimmick diva / celebrity match, and then you're out. You got the Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara match. They both came back at the Rumble, so they can get that feud started. You got Miz and Antonio Cesaro. They can drag that feud out for another couple months. That's 7 matches. So, I'm looking forward to this, if, again, for no other reason, to see what shakes out, what sticks, what gets hot, what gets popular. And Bo Dallas, who knows what's going to go down there. Anyway, going forward, Booker T is going to have a major announcement since, surprise, surprise, John Cena is going after the WWE Championship. Hence my Rock versus Cena 2 match from earlier, with Cena going after the WWE Championship and The Rock being the WWE Champion, and I don't see him dropping that title at Elimination Chamber. Booker T is going to have a major announcement. Most of the online speculation is that there will be a not Hell in a Cell, but it'll be an Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then some sort of Hell in a I don't know how they're going to choose a new number 1 contender. All I know is, with Alberto Del Rio being the champion, and I foresee him still being the champion after Elimination Chamber. I keep going to call Hell in a Cell. After Elimination Chamber, what I see possibly happening, before Jericho was in the picture, what I could have seen happening was, again, Dolph Ziggler cashes in, becomes champion, and then it's Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler for the Heavyweight Championship. Now, with Chris Jericho in the mix, it's very well possible that Jericho and Dolph Ziggler will be having a match at WrestleMania 29, and I think that's going to be the match to watch. It'll be the match that everybody's talking about. That's not the Rock Cena Part 2 match. Again, this road to WrestleMania is excellent. There are some matches that you can see a mile away, and there are some matches that still have yet to take full form. It's really an exciting time. I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks of WWE television, and looks like a lot more people are also looking forward to it. The ratings are in for Raw, highest rated episode since Raw 1000. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Hopefully TNA can get their act together and they can be a legitimate number 2. Who knows? Anyways, I'm going to be off this coming weekend, and next week we should be back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm definitely, if you did not watch the Royal Rumble, you should. It was the Rumble match, highly entertaining, if for nothing else, to see the crowd reaction when Y2J Chris Jericho comes in at number 2. And of course, everyone's favorite pimp, the Godfather. And I have no shame in saying I marked out huge when I heard that music, and I just gotta tell you, I've been smiling ever since. Even John Cena couldn't take away my smile. This has been That Dirty Spoons from the IWC, signing off.